Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest as usual. We start with Antoine Griezmann, as it has been reported that the Barcelona loanee will sign a long-term contract with Atletico Madrid until 2027. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about Andres Christensen, of course, who picked up an injury yesterday while playing for against Inter Milan. It has been reported that the defender's injury is worse than expected and he could be out for a month. We are also going to be discussing about that. So guys, before we get right into it, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. On a 2-year loan deal at Atletico Madrid since last term, Antoine Griezmann has usually been coming off the bench during the final half and half games. This is because a clause in his current contract states that Atleti will have to pay his full €40 million fee to Barca in case he plays for at least 45 minutes in the 50% of the games he is available in. Ultimately, this situation is far from ideal for Xavi's men, as aside from the Spanish capital, have found, a loophole in the agreement. However, it seems as if the Frenchman is set to stay at the Citivas Metropolitano for the long haul, with the two clubs set to reach an agreement over €20 million transfer imminently. And as per the latest information provided by Carrusel Deportivo, Griezmann will sign a long-term contract with Atletico Madrid till 2027. Furthermore, the World Cup winner has decided to lower his salary in the brand new agreement with Diego Simeone's side. While Barcelona were considering legal action against Atleti, it has since been reported that the Catalan side are unwilling to enter a court battle as they want to avoid the possibility of having Griezmann back at the club next summer. Instead, the current La Liga leaders would rather ensure Griezmann is no longer on their books while receiving a satisfactory, if not the ideal €40 million fee. At the end of the day, all parties will be chuffed with where they stand after the imminent closure of a long-drawn disagreement. Antoine Griezmann loan deal at Atletico Madrid have brought a lot of tension between FC Barcelona and Atletico Madrid in the past few months. Of course, a lot of disagreement, misunderstanding about the amount of money that Atleti were supposed to pay to make the deal permanent. Of course, the initial agreement, as we all know, was €40 million, and there was this misunderstanding between the two clubs as to when that money will be paid, because definitely there was a condition that Antoine Griezmann must play games of 45 minutes and above in 50% of the available games that is there, of course, before Atletico Madrid will pay that 40 million. That is why we've been seeing Diego Simeone not opting to use Griezmann for full matches. Of course, Griezmann himself have been annoyed about that. Of course, understanding the situation the way it is, Diego Simeone himself taking decisions from the Atletico Madrid management not to play Griezmann because they want to avoid paying the 40 million to Barca. So that really led to a lot of tension. Barca were so annoyed, saying that Atletico are doing things illegal, and they were saying that Atletico Madrid were supposed to pay that money because the agreement, according to Barca, was for last season, but Atletico are like, no, the agreement was for both seasons on loan. So it seems as though both clubs are heading for a peaceful approach, not to go into a legal battle, because Barca wanted to go as far as suing Atletico Madrid, right, taking them to court for fraudulent or using the loophole for the agreement, but it seems as though that will not happen. So as it has been reported by Spanish outlet Marca, Atletico Madrid and Barca are close to reaching an agreement, which will definitely be reached according to this report, for Atletico to pay the 20 million. That is half of the money that Barca were expecting to sell Griezmann permanently. So Barca want to accept just €20 million for Antoine Griezmann to be there permanently. Of course, according to the report, they're saying that the permanent deal will be till 2027. That's a long period. Maybe Atletico just want Antoine Griezmann to retire there. Of course, he likes Atletico a lot. We quite remember this is his second spell at Atleti. Of course, his first spell was even the best because he really made his name on the football stages at Atletico Madrid. So from all indications, Griezmann is set to be fully an Atletico Madrid player once again, and handing him a very long-term contract, which means they really like him there, and he really fits Diego Simeone's style of play. Because we quite remember his 2 years at Barca, I don't think any Barca fan can say it was a success, because Antoine Griezmann was just there. He was not really that sharp. You can see that Barca did not even suit him, but the mayor who bought him just bought him because he was a star by then. It was not like it was a sporting reason for him to come and improve the team, because we saw nothing about Griezmann improving Barcelona. So it seems as though Barca themselves, they don't want Antoine Griezmann to be back. So they say, better, let's reduce that money to be 20 million than bringing Griezmann back to Barca next season. Then, moving on to the final story of discussion, Barcelona's defensive contingent continues to be hit by injuries one after the other. Last month saw Barcelona lose Jules Koundé, Ronald Araujo, and Hector Bellerin to injury woes. Now, another defender in Andreas Christensen has been sidelined with an injury. The 26-year-old Dane suffered a sprain in his ankle ligament during Barca's 1-0 loss to Inter Milan at the Giuseppe Meazza on Tuesday night. The club confirmed the same following the game, and after tests were conducted on the centre-back earlier today, Javi Miguel of AS is reporting that Christensen's injury is worse than initially expected. The journalist had earlier claimed that the former Chelsea ace could be ruled out for 3 weeks at most. However, following the test conducted earlier today Wednesday, it has been determined that Christensen has suffered a grade 2 sprain in his left ankle. It could keep the centre-back out of action, possibly for up to a month, which could mean that he might not play for Barcelona again until after the FIFA World Cup. This development is certain to come as a huge blow for Xavi Hernandez and Barcelona. Araujo is already ruled out for at least 2 months, meaning that he will only be back after the World Cup in Qatar. There is some optimism surrounding Koundé's situation, as he was spotted in training with his team earlier this week. The Frenchman is expected to be in contention for selection for the first El Clasico of the season against Real Madrid on October 16. Until then, however, Barca will have to make do with just 2 senior centre-backs in the form of Eric Garcia and Gerard Piqué. The latter has hardly played regularly this season and was relegated to the position of fifth choice centre-back this season. But the veteran star looked good against Mallorca over the weekend and did well in the minutes he got against Inter last night. And Xavi will once again be relying on the 35-year-old in the upcoming matches. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.